up, everyone? Sunrise Extra on a Wednesday. We're going to have some fun today. We originally had a different topic, and then we saw one of our stories in our newscast. We're like, we have to make it this because we all started talking. Yeah. So the premise is, what frugal money-saving tips and weird things do you do around your house or to reuse products to save money? And we're talking about this because there's a couple in Yamhill County that has a TikTok channel. They're well over 30, you know, we're like, none of us have TikTok.
It's not a teenage couple.
I'm very reluctant to get TikTok, yeah. So they have a TikTok page, channel, whatever, account. And they're doing these things called My Husband Is So Cheap. That's what it's called. It's a whole series of videos. And they are so hilarious. Yeah. Watch this.
New series, My Husband Is So Cheap That...
John and Amber Horn have found ways to save a penny.
When you use paper towel, all you need to do is hang them up on a clothesline to dry, and they'll be ready to use again, saving you money.
Parents to 5 kids, they've always had plenty of mouths to feed.
We were definitely on a fixed income, and money was tight, and I remember our grocery hack.
We buy a gift card each month with a limited amount of money on it to spend on groceries. When the gift card's empty, we're done buying groceries for the month.
The money-saving couple, well, mainly just John.
We're not like the frugal couple. We're like, he's so cheap. That's the kind of relationship we have. I think it's funny.
They begin putting together these videos on TikTok showing how John saves the family money. She has over 250,000 followers, and the videos are getting thousands of views each time they post.
We save money by reusing things.
There's this one about cleaning foil and reusing it.
You just need to make sure to get it dry and fold it up and put in a safe spot for future use.
But I always get out a clean sheet.
Toilet paper companies want us to put the roll over the top, so when you pull on it, all of this is wasted.
So how much has John's frugal ways saved them?
My guess is it's not saved us a penny. Maybe 5 pennies? I don't know.
But really, you do lots of little things, as we know in life. Lots of little things make big things.
And while there are some good tips for that budget-conscious mind,
when I'm out of lotion, I don't go just buy more lotion.
Well, because we're actually not out of lotion. All you do is grab some scissors, cut it, open it up, and we got a lot more to use.
some might leave you scratching your head.
When I go up and down our stairs, I make sure to use the outside of the steps to reduce the overall wear and tear on the carpet, and it'll last years longer.
Devin Haskins, KGW News.
And he tries to get us to do that too.
He's being a wise guy at that point.
But right? I do that lotion thing. I have a bottle of lotion in my car right now. And my daughter said, "This is out." I said, "Oh, no, it's not." I take off.
Right.
You can get like a week's worth extra out of those things.
Well, absolutely.
Sometimes when we're done with like the liquid fabric softener, it seems like it's done. But if you add some water to it, there is some residue down there, right? There's a little bit of fabric softener hanging out at the bottom that wouldn't come out. You get some water in there, you swish it around. Now it's been diluted a bit, but it still serves the purpose, I think.
Absolutely. I do that with toothpaste too.
What, you dilute the toothpaste?
No, you don't
cut
dilute it. You cut it.
Oh. I've only ever rolled, and then squeezed it down.
Yeah, people at my house don't like rolling. I do that too. I like.
And then
what,
you stick the toothbrush in there, and just like swirl it around?
No, absolutely.
You keep a spare set of scissors upstairs then, like in the bathroom area, to do all this cutting of the lotion and the toothpaste?
No, I don't. It has to be a deliberate act when I get down to the bottom.
All right.
Rod, what do you do? Any quirky things?
Right? Well, I think of, by the way, on the toilet paper thing, just because you roll out a bunch doesn't mean you have to use it. You can roll it back up.
Absolutely.
For crying out loud.
Yeah,
but
you need it.
I keep my eye on things I think are just crazy expensive. One of those things would be the gallon-size Ziploc bags, right? So, depending on what we have used it for, often it's light use, I would call it, and then I will wash those out in the sink and reuse those.
That makes
sense. Because they're pretty sturdy construction, right? With the Ziploc bag, and it seems kind of wasteful just to use it once.
The kid's grandma is the ultimate saver. She has more hacks. Like, I can't even think of all the things that she does, but one, she used to cut regular napkins, like paper napkins, into 4s.
Wow.
And we'd
so it's one single ply.
And I'm like, how are we even going to use this? But she was hardcore for her savings.
I have cut them in half, and it is a double layer. But yeah, a lot of times you're just like, it's one wipe and then it sits there on the table. And I'll reuse them. I'll just fold them nicely like paper napkins that has, one smudge on it, and I'll just save it at the person's seat. I've done the aluminum foil that he's done.
Yeah.
If it's, not like
be
dirty.
an example of something you did with the foil that could be reused later for something else.
I'll use it to like line a baking sheet, for something that goes in the oven, so you don't have to wash the baking sheet. But it has, it'll be covering like a bowl or something that won't have, food or.
Have you ever? I've never washed the foil, Nina, but like
Me
you, I'll
neither.
reuse it if it's not
Correct.
dirty. I'll fold it.
And Rod, they make Ziploc bags now that are reusable, like much tougher quality. And so I've bought a bunch of those. They have them in the big gallon size and the quart size too. And they're great. You just zip them at the top, and they're a pain in the butt to wash though. You got to get a good soapy sponge and, wash the bottom, flip it over, wash the inside. But it saves money on the Ziploc.
Renee Robertson says, I have a big Ziploc drying in our rack right now.
Wow.
All right. Good deal. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, how about that? He did, so the leaping off point for this topic was that Yamhill couple, Yamhill County couple. Did you notice when he actually hung up his paper towels?
Yeah, that's crazy.
To dry them. Like he would use a paper towel, then hang it up with a clothespin and dry it out. That seemed extreme to me.
I wonder, how many of these things are for the video, for the gram, as they say. But yeah, I bet he's saving them, just maybe not.
Shereen Miller Simmons says, best thing ever was when Kirkland made the half sheet paper towels.
I agree, right? They're perfect size, I think, for the most
Sometimes
part.
you just need a little.
Yeah.
I do like weird, quirky things. We shop at Fred Meyer, and on the bottom of I learned this from someone here at work. Drew, I was telling you about this. We had like some Zoom meeting, and I had my camera off because I was on the survey website, and I do this Kroger survey from my receipt every time I go shopping because it gets you 50 gas points.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And those really add up. I mean, where it's like a full $1 off a gallon.
Sure.
And so I'll do the survey every single time I go shopping because you get those 50 points. And then, I've started doing the recycle your cans. And now I'm just like nuts about it. And my husband started bringing cans home from people at his work were throwing pop cans in the garbage.
Wow.
Which I think is, as an
wrong on a
Oregonian,
couple
it's just
levels.
like, that's the first thing we ever recycled, I feel like. So why would you ever throw it? So he brings them home because they're 10 cents and we take them back.
So you just do them in the can collection thing?
We get those green bags, and then you just put your sticker that has a little barcode that goes to your account, and it gets you a bunch of money off my groceries.
So Dave, your husband, is not married to the cat lady, but he is married to the recycling lady.
I guess so.
That's a good thing. Other things are not really hacks, but just habits over the years. I always, when I leave the room, turn off the lights. I always turn off the water when I brush my teeth. And I always turn off the TV when we leave the room.
Not when I'm
Sometimes
on,
the
though.
TV. Oh yeah, especially when you're. Just kidding. But sometimes people in our house, we just, they leave the TV on, and I'm like, click.
I am guilty of leaving the water on when I brush my teeth, and I don't know why that started or how that started or why I can't stop, but it is on and running. Maybe it's like, hey, I better hurry up with this. Although I do spend quite a bit of time brushing those teeth in the morning. Regardless, it made me think of my mom, Brenda, when you mentioned turning off the water for brushing your teeth. My mom, I remember this, not because I was watching, but I remember her telling me this because she wanted me to adopt this as well when I lived there at home. She would turn the water off in the shower as she was showering during the hair washing part of the shower.
Really?
Like she's showering, then she gets to hair washing, turns off the water, washes and scrubs the hair to save the water, I guess, then turns it back on and rinses. And I'm thinking, no, Mom.
I used to do that, like if you had just like a stall shower, and when the ladies need to shave their legs, you can't shave and have the lather down there if the water's coming down, so you would have to turn the water off.
Well, that's different.
In order to shave your legs. I don't know.
You would never turn it off as you're soaping up your hair. You wouldn't.
She probably not. I guess if you can't get out of the way of the
She's doing
water
it though purely to save
money.
water.
It's too hard to find the right temperature again once you get it.
So does anyone else watching Sunrise Extra this morning, does anyone else turn off the shower water when it comes to the washing of the hair? Not the rinsing, of course, but the washing.
A lot of people do the Ziploc thing. Mindy Ainsley says, I have Ziplocs on my counter over canning jars. Some of my friends think it's strange.
Christy Shirk says, my kids laugh at me for reusing the foil.
Yeah, my mother did that as well growing up. A lot of reused tin foil. And I was here folding it up nice and neatly, putting it away.
My big thing is simply I don't need something new until what I bought years ago just flat out doesn't work anymore.
Right.
You know, I feel like I know a lot of people, it's like they got to get the new thing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that's probably the number one reason how I save money. Simply if I buy it, I use it until it's absolutely not usable again.
Or gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what the pandemic has taught me, how many things I really don't need
Sure.
or need to do. I think that's going to be something that may never come back. There are just certain things I'm like, I don't need to do it as often.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely saves on the money.
That series on Netflix that's like what was the woman? The Japanese woman who has all the organizing, Marie Kondo.
Oh, she brings me joy,
I was telling
right?
you how,
Brings
yeah.
me joy, yeah.
Like, I watched that last
It was
summer.
before the pandemic,
Yeah,
wasn't
last summer. And I know a lot of people did, and they reorganized their whole houses, and you just become more intentional about, minimizing things and not having so much. What are you doing, Rod?
I honestly
Shoes?
What about your shoes, Rod?
I've mentioned this before. But this is the third sole on these shoes.
That's what's
it's
great
like,
about men's
maybe, I don't know, maybe $30 at my shoe guy to get new soles put on my shoes.
You go to a
instead of
shoe
spending
guy.
Another, $100 plus. And they will last a long time.
I should do that because I've been wearing, Rod. You remember Rod and I went shopping one day with a stylist. KGW set us up with a stylist who went shopping for us. Now, we had to spend our own money.
It was a long, painful
but
day.
she was there to just help us pick out like the right things for TV. Now, you never really even see my shoes on TV, right? But I'm wearing I'll tell you, coming clean, I wear the same 3 pairs of shoes every day to work. One of the 3 pairs, and it's been that way for 3 full years. All 3 of those pairs have a somewhat significant hole in them. 2 of them have a hole right at the bottom, literally.
Of the shoe?
Of the shoe, Brenda. It's not like, you can't tickle my foot through this hole, but it's so thin now, it's been worn down, like there's a hole going through that if I step in water outside while walking, it doesn't have to be a puddle.
Oh my goodness.
Just wet cement.
I don't think, I'm looking at your
feel it
shoes
in my
right now.
sock.
I don't think you can resole those type of shoes, but like Rod's dress shoes, like those,
Loafers kind of thing?
well, like higher end, what is it, leather?
Oh, my shoes
No,
aren't
I'm
high
just
end enough
saying,
for you, Melhoff.
It's different, like dress shoes.
Yeah,
Rod, is it leather bottom
But
soles?
even the leather bottom shoes, absolutely you can resole. But even like these have that kind of rubber sole, which is more common
Yeah,
these
they
days.
can just, Drew, take them in. I bet maybe
And
they
they
can
do
fix
these
them.
as well. They can redo, I'm going to say, outside of a tennis shoe. I even have hiking boots I take in because they're Gore-Tex and they're great, and they were like
Shine 'em up
$400
for you? Yeah.
literally 20 years ago. And they're on like their 34 cents.
I discovered the most amazing shop, and I'm trying to figure out where it is. It's right on Sunnyside. It's close to the freeway. It's in a little strip mall, and this man is amazing. I took in a bunch of my shoes that I really like, and they're good shoes, but the heels had been worn down, and a pair of those really nice Fry boots, like that you can keep forever and ever and ever. He resold them and did they're like brand new shoes, and I want to give him a shout out. I cannot remember the name of his business.
Drew, you
but he
should
was
take him
so
in.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Not thinking about it. I think I
try it.
will because Rod, right? The one thing that's never changed is my shoe size. Like you may have to go up and down in like a waist size, but my shoe size hasn't changed. So I don't want to spend money on new shoes. They still fit if the shoe fits her, even with the hole in the bottom.
They're expensive, yeah. Hey, Shirley, is it, how do you say her last name? Panit? Panit? How would you say
I usually
that?
just call her Shirley. We're on a first
Shirley.
name
What's
basis.
up, Shirley?
She says for any of us older people that grew up with parents of the Depression era, I know a lot of saver tricks and still use them. And I feel like that's me too. And that's why I will use things until they absolutely won't go any further.
Nothing wrong with
Jeff
that.
Fuller saying, RVs, if you've ever lived or used an RV, they have a 6-gallon water tank, so you have to shut off the water, lather up, and then turn it back on. Wendy says, yep, when we had a mobile home with a 20-gallon hot water heater, we turned the water on in the shower to get wet. We turned it off while we were washing and scrubbing, and then turn it back on to rinse.
Yeah.
Okay, I found it. It's simply called the Shoe Shop.
It's always something like that, right?
Shoe
It's
shop.
repair.
And it says I'm www.mycobbler.net. But he's a craftsman.
Oh, nice.
And he's local, and he's been in the area for like 20 plus years. I love him.
On YouTube, we've got some great viewers watching us on YouTube with really good ideas. Mel says, yep, shaving my legs. I turn the water off, not while washing my hair, though. Courtney Willingham, good morning, Courtney. She says she saves the bread bag plastic tags the little ties,
yeah, for what?
and my newspaper rubber bands. And if clothes need to be recycled, I cut squares out of them for sewing.
Oh.
She also saves jam and pickle jars for leftovers.
Yep. I guess I do have some of those in the pantry. And I always
salad
save those little
dressings.
ties too, because I never know what I need to like reseal.
Pretty good question from viewer Vicky. She says, where is this TikTok that we're speaking about? So this is a Yamhill County couple that has blown up on TikTok. I saw her name on there.
There's a link. Jared put the link in the chat thing.
Oh, great.
But yeah, they're called, it's Amber Horn, Horne. If you look that's her name on
I think
TikTok.
it's the Amber Horn on TikTok.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Amber Horn. But you're right, that is her name. There she is. There's the Amber Horn, and there's her husband. It's funny in these videos, as he provides like the tips on how to save money around the house. He's always
just
got
like,
that
whatever.
big old grin on his face, right? Like, I'm so proud of myself the way I'm hanging up these paper towels. The one that you'll see, if we keep this up long enough, you'll see that he's walking up the stairs of his home using the very edges of the stairs and not using the middle, because he claims that if you do it that way, you will save that carpet and it will last years longer. And I'm thinking, really, guy?
Ridiculous.
Of course, if you fall down the stairs, that'll wipe out your savings in a heartbeat.
Oh my God, Stanford Walker, this makes me laugh because it throws me back to my childhood. He's like teasing us. He says, can we resole our 1972 Earth shoes? Anybody else out there remember Earth shoes?
Oh.
They had the weirdest like soles that were kind of tipped in up at the end and down at the back.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Why do they call them Earth shoes, I wonder?
I know, because they look like, earthy and granola-ish, I betcha. I betcha they did.
That's funny.
I lost I had a viewer comment that I was going to share. Now I've lost it. Darn it.
Lost it.
That's the worst part of Sunrise.
Oh,
Extra, when
Karen
you have it
Bitterman,
and
she
you
knows your
lose
shoe
it.
shop, Brenda.
Oh, do
Between
you?
Baja Fresh and McMinimans.
Is that right?
Well,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. See, I just moved over in that area, and it's not sticking with me.
Oh, I like
love
this
that
one.
place.
Charisse says, I fill a dish with water, I add dish soap, and I dip my sponge in to wash dishes as opposed to running the water or filling the sink. I run the water the whole time.
That's the comment I was
Ooh.
looking for, by the way. That
Because
was
you
interesting
can
to me.
actually run the dishwasher, right, and
cheaper and save
more
water.
water than if you do it in the sink. I do the same thing. I get one of the big bowls, if that's what I'm washing, put the water in there, and then I use that and turn off the water.
So when
I
you
don't
guys
even
put
think
your-
about those things, though. Literally.
When you put your dishes in the dishwasher, Brenda, then Nina, then Rod, in whatever order you choose, but when you put those dishes in the dishwasher, are they still like dirty? Is there still food on those dishes?
Yeah, I've tried to not pre-rinse like that because that's my nature, is to want to pre-rinse them. But no, I've started putting them in there dirty.
Like
And
whole
what's the
chunks?
bottom line? When you open that thing up, do they look just as clean
Gotta
as
have a
they did
good
before?
washer.
They're clean.
You didn't sound very convinced.
No, they are.
Like, it almost sounded like you wanted to say enough at the end. Like, they're clean
No,
enough.
no. I mean, they're clean.
You know her.
Yeah.
If it wasn't clean, she would say.
My wife, they
would
must be
pre-rinse.
clean before they go in the dishwasher to get cleaned.
Yeah.
That's my wife.
But there's also like just a rinse thing where you can do that.
Yeah. But
Right.
stuff that's going to dry, like egg yolk is the worst. It'll dry and harden on there, It
Yeah.
seems to like come out.
That's why you have to get it all up with your piece of toast.
Got all up in there.
We grew up with no dishwasher. My mom still doesn't have one. No,
Really?
We grew up with no dishwasher in our house. Oh. Yeah. It's such a tiny
We
kitchen
never
that
used
there's
it.
no room for it.
Yep. We had a dishwasher. I don't know if it broke or if my mom was just that old school. But yeah, she did all her dishes by hand.
gosh.
And I'm often reminded about that by my wife, who I'm kind of crazy now about how the dishwasher is stacked.
loaded,
And all, and
yeah.
you didn't even grow up with one of these. How can you be the expert on the dishwasher when you didn't even grow up with one? I feel like I've become the expert in the last 20 years. What can I say?
It's very particular.
Howard Wright says clean enough, LOL. That's just spinach love.
Spinach.
That's funny.
Oh, my goodness.
I remember too as a kid just being I know this is hard for everybody to imagine, a total pill when it came to chores. Because I would have to hand wash the dishes, and I hated that more than anything. And I think I tried to skate a couple times and just rinse them. Oh, I was
Really?
right
Do you
back
guys-
there at the sink.
Brenda Braxton.
Do you guys compost food? Like, do you have a little
We don't
put it in
have
the
a
yard thing?
Okay, you guys have to fill me in because as far as I can tell, where we live in Clackamas County, there is no compost. Like we used to have that little thing on the, under the sink or on the counter in
And
Multnomah
you can't
County.
put it in your yard debris? You have to check.
Yeah. You should be able
That
to.
saves
I swear
so
to
much
God I
room in the
did.
garbage.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to
I
put that in the
want
yard
to do
debris in
that.
Clark County. They're very.
I don't think you can in Clackamas.
Clark County, if it's not growing in your yard, it's not supposed to be in there.
I will. Yeah, we've.
Come on, Clackamas County.
We live in Clackamas County, Brenda, and we have stuck some like spoiled produce in that yard debris.
Yeah, but they don't, Clackamas County doesn't have like Multnomah County does, right? Like a composting
And it's not even Clackamas County that's picking it up. We have like a private trash collector that comes into our neighborhood.
Okay.
And picks it up.
I do miss that.
The yard debris?
The yard debris, the trash, and the recycling.
Jeff Lucas says when I was single, I could use one bowl, one fork, and one glass a week.
My wife yells at me because I am insistent on using like one glass for the entire week, and I'll hide it here and I'll hide it there.
Putting different items in that
and
glass?
then I'm like, who took my glass? And anyway, it drives my wife nuts, but that's what I do.
Like, you'll put different beverages in the glass though without like...
Yeah, just rinse it out in between.
Yeah.
You know?
He's kind of
still alive.
Scrap collection is offered in most areas of Clackamas County, it says.
Jeff is a glass hoarder. He uses all the glasses. Sometimes I can't even find them in the cupboard, and I know exactly where to go.
I thought you meant
up
Jeff
to the
Lucas.
nightstand.
Or you mean the Jeff you
No,
live
my
with?
Jeff. Yeah. I don't know about Jeff Lucas. If he would like to share.
So Christy has this little tip for doing the dishes. Christy Shirk says she fills the sink with hot water first, then everyone in the house puts their dishes into that hot water, and then she uses that water to clean the dishes with. So it's kind of like one filling of the sink with one batch of hot water that cleans, I guess, all the dishes.
Wait, did anybody do Deanna? This is interesting.
Right.
She says, when the installer came and put in my new dishwasher, he told me not to pre-wash my dishes, but it's the food and bacteria that activate the dishwashing soap.
Really?
After harping on my kids for years to pre-wash, I had to humbly tell them they were right this whole time. I've never heard that.
I had to. Can someone?
I've never
please,
ever heard that.
look that up?
I am dubious.
The bacteria in your food on the plate is what
Deanna?
triggers. No, I'm just I'm questioning her
you better
installer.
step back, brother.
Her installer, not her. I feel like she may have just been given some bad information.
I mean, really, our plates
don't want to give here.
Our plates always get licked by Maximus before they get.
That is, you know, it's funny if you
pretty clean,
Blaze,
too.
sometime like Rod, our dog somehow knows when we've made. Well, he knows because he smells it. But if you ever leave the dishwasher open with like the bacon tray in there, because we use this little tray. That we
He'll
can
lick
rub
up all the
if I walk away for a moment, when I look back, there's Blaze. I mean, he is just licking away at that bacon tray. He always knows when that's in the dishwasher.
Jeff Lucas says, I currently have 2 glasses on my nightstand. I've been good this week.
There you go. I like this, Jeff Lucas. We're in the same path. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys one more thing, and I know we have to go soon.
Yeah,
but we got
do.
chickens a few years ago, right? We had chickens for about 5 years in our backyard. And if you think that's a money-saving opportunity because now you don't have to buy eggs, I will tell you that's not a money-saving opportunity. Number one, I kind of realized, geez, those eggs weren't that expensive to begin with, right? You can get like a dozen of eggs for 99 cents still. But now you got to feed these birds, and you know, we're spending money on keeping like that coop going and buying the shavings, and then the effort spent, the time spent cleaning that coop. It's not a money saver. It was just sort of a life lesson thing.
Aren't they better though? Don't you think they taste
They were better
fresher?
eggs, but not that much better, Rod.
All right.
I thought they were a lot better. Then we got rid of the chickens. We gave them to another family, and I feel like my eggs are just fine
I thought you were going
now.
to say you ate them.
No, we gave them to another family that wanted
What's
to
for
put
dinner
chickens in
tonight?
their backyard.
Fried chicken.
All right, you guys, this was fun. I got some good ideas. I like it. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great Wednesday.